It's been a tough year, not only for me or for some of us, but for the watch industry in particular. People's reaction was to stop buying watches or to move away from the phenomenon due to the recession threat. But also because in 2024 there weren't so many exciting releases in the watch industry. So my choice was to move my attention towards affordable, exciting watches which I was blind to see in the past. And if the luxury watches market is collapsing, let me show you something affordable, something for our soul. The best automatic diver under $160. Always in the shadow of Seiko, but still a respectable brand with a history of diving watches, Orient is an overlooked brand. But there is tremendous value in these automatic Makos, you just need to have eyes to see it. But not on the bracelet, as we all love to collect watches, in the exact way they're offering this model on a rubber. Because in this context, I think the strap is really part of the value of this watch, it's something apart. The Ray II, the FAA02007B9 is part of the old school series, from the days when a Japanese entry diver watch was really affordable. This model was in the shadow of the SKX007 until the Kamasu was launched, being considered a worthy competitor against the 007. Since then, the Mako 2 was improved a couple of times, receiving firstly arrow hands and then sword hands with numerals. But out of the bunch, this Mako 2 feels to tick so many boxes as an automatic, well-sized, legible and affordable 2 tailored for recreational diving. So if you missed the era of affordable divers, this was one of the pillars. I owned and reviewed a lot of Orient divers, but none like this. This is not a pretentious watch, yet it is extremely well made, and if you isolate all its features, you'll see that it is carefully made, has a better rotating bezel compared to the later ones, has a well-balanced dial contrasted and decorated accordingly, has excellent lume, a reliable automatic movement with hacking, a simplistic well-finished case and a solid tailor strap branded with their diving logo. And as all the Japanese solid divers, has the bezel misaligned. Overall, and compared to the modern Makos, all its functions are carefully made to sit as a reliable tool watch, that I can guarantee you. A friend of mine and a friend of the channel asked me, is this Mako better than the iconic Seiko SKX007? And I said to him, of course it is, because the Seiko SKX is double the price. This is the GBHG mentality. And then you'll probably ask yourself, can this watch fit your lifestyle? I think in any collection, such a dependable beater should sit. Whether you are a newbie in the watch world, a watch lover or a pretentious collector, this Mako works as an everyday watch to be worn with pride, works as a vacation watch, as a stand-in for a luxurious diver, and you'll simply be amazed by how much quality sits in this diver and how accurate it can do its job compared to a Submariner, and how it costs only the price of a link of a Rolex bracelet. Now, that's a shift. So allow me to describe this watch better in detail. I'll start this time with the strap. This model obviously is available in different colors, straps or bracelet options. But out of the collection, this black version with the accordion rubber and the Orient diving medallion feels to be the best option, because it complements the watch in a natural way. This is an old school type of rubber which is thick and solid to serve the purpose. And definitely it's not a curved FKM. But what is curious, has sufficient holes to adjust the watch properly on the wrist, making it comfortable to wear, even to sleep with it without having marks on the wrist in the next morning. But overall, I love the look of the imposing strap, which exceeds basically the case design. So the shape of the rubber continues the case profile, and the medallion works brilliantly in relationship with the dial, making it, in my opinion, a complete product. So I bought the watch for that perfect symbiosis, not because I needed another diver in my collection. Luckily and interestingly to know, this case is very well articulated. Orient used us in the past with intermediary chamfers, which basically made the cases to kind of lose from their identity. But in this case it is sharply made from simple facets with arched chrome guards polished with a nice brushing on top. This is one of the simplest, straightforward and effective cases I've ever tried. The case measures 41.5mm in diameter by my measurements. Normally the majority of the diving watches brands are building the bezels equal or exceeding the case footprint, but in this case the bezel is smaller than the watch silhouette without risking a grippy-less bezel action. And as a result, the case offers a nice hierarchy in shape, which makes it a looker on the wrist, and having the dial diameter smaller makes the watch to look realistically like a 39-40mm watch. The bezel, as I mentioned, it is a bit misaligned as all the old school Seikos or Orients. That reminds me of the era where everyone was complaining about the misaligned bezel, but they were still buying them, and that makes it even funnier to keep it like this. As quality, the bezel exchange is well executed, it doesn't get stuck from salt water, it is grippy with 60 clicks with a nicely matted coating, a well-loomed pip and discrete diving markers as a respectable ISO standard watch should be. The dial is one of the highlights of the watch for sure. There is a matted black-grey tone which serves as a base for the diving markers but for the day-date frame as well. To be mentioned, every element within the dial is outlined by a chromed accent, adding a premium feeling to it. Chromatically, the metallic hands are respecting basically the same principles with differently shaped hands, filled with lume with a minute sword hand, a thick intermediary sword shape as the hour hand, and obviously the thin, long, elegant seconds hand accented in red to match the small red pip which can be found in the Orient logo. Overall, on the macro level, we can preview the quality level, which is surprisingly right for $160. Without faults or printing errors, the logo printing is perfect, the date window has nice inner blasted facets, and the contrast is simply right. There are basically zero indicators that this watch is cheap. As quick specs, we have a case diameter of 41.5mm with 47mm as lug tip to lug tip, 22mm between the lugs, 13mm in height, but pay attention, it wears slimmer than that and weighs 98 grams. This is a diver with a unidirectional bezel having 60 accurate clicks, has a mineral or a hardlex glass, a screw-down crown which ensures 20 bar as waterproofness, and inside we have the automatic caliber F6922 with a decorated rotor, has a Seiko Diashock which is basically an anti-shock system and beats at 28,600 bph, having 41 hours power reserve. This model still can be bought as brand new, starting from $160 ending up to slightly above $210 depending on the store. In the end, what can I say? Definitely a worthy brave bidder on the channel, which sits in the position 62 in the Hall of Fame alongside other more expensive divers. So that should be it, hope you enjoyed it. There is a premiere on the channel. This is the first watch which I shot in the Ionian Sea but also in the Black Sea, just to prove how enjoyable is this diver. So I'm really curious to know, what do you think about this Orient Ray II? Please let me know in the comments below. And as usual, if you're new around, please consider subscribing for future episodes. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be brave and stay safe.